This meditation comes from a book called Anchors and Flares by Reverend Kate Braystrom. I have been thinking about love and unlove, and I have been thinking about how unlove can masquerade with great cruelty as love. I have been thinking about Judas's kiss. It might be a small thing in the whole story, but it is one of those moments of decision. Jesus was in the midst of conversation with his disciples when Judas arrived. Judas had a posse with him, armed with swords and clubs. Evidently, they didn't know Jesus even well enough to recognize him. And rather than make too plain his collaboration, Judas went up to Jesus and said, "Rabbi," and kissed him. And Jesus was seized and taken away to be interrogated, beaten, and crucified. It was a crummy thing to do. Kissing is so naturally innocent. It's this strange, funny little human gesture that's purely affection. Couldn't have Judas identified Jesus by giving him a guy punch in the bicep or something? "Would you betray me with a kiss?" Jesus asked. "Really?" In the original Greek, what Judas gives Jesus is a kataphilein, a word that does not mean some insincere air kiss, but a real, firm, intense smooch. Kataphilein contains the word philos, and anybody from Philadelphia would know that that means brotherly love. So the context is clear. This is a kiss of connection, of kinship, of love, turned inside out into treachery. In all four Gospels, that perfidious kiss is accompanied by the failure of brotherly love. The night before his arrest, Jesus knows what was coming, and he's distressed and agitated. Now, the disciples weren't asked to be sensitive. They didn't have to work it out for themselves. Jesus told them, "Guys, I am deeply grieved unto death. Stay awake for me?" Well, Mark says that the disciples didn't know what to say. And anyway, they were tired and they were super stressed. And they still had a little buzz on from all that wine at the Last Supper. You know how it is. So Jesus returned from his anguished prayers to find his friends asleep. After Judas kissed and identified Jesus, and Jesus was arrested, Peter was given a chance to step up. "You were with Jesus," the servant girl says. "You're one of them." But Peter chickened out before the rooster crowed, denying he even knew Jesus. All of them deserted and fled, Mark reports. Even if Jesus hadn't predicted it, would we really be all that surprised? Love one another, the commandment says. But aren't those deserted him and fled the most common ways that we fail to obey that commandment? Not with aggression or violence, no. We just avoid the friend whose pain and grief we don't want to have to deal with. I can hear myself say it. "I really don't know her that well." Cock-a-doodle-doo. Judas's kiss, the spineless slumber of the disciples, Peter's denials, all the bad news of the Bible is so recognizable. Dear God, may we, you and I, our children and our children's children, all be good kissers. May every kiss we give, every embrace be firm and passionate and the undoing of Judas. True cataphilia, the very opposite of betrayal. With the words and the kisses of our mouths, may we say it again and again, I know you by your human face. You are my sister. You are my brother. I am here. I am with you. Amen.